Thank you very kindly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We're happy to have you join us for the UKLCC interview. That's the UK Liberia Chamber of Commerce in London. My name is Wofai Samuel, and I am the Director of Communications and External Affairs for the Chamber. Sub-Saharan Africa is among the world's most gender unequal regions. According to the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP), perceptions, attitude, and historic gender roles limit women access to healthcare and education and lead to disproportionate levels of family responsibilities, job segregation, and sexual violence. But perhaps the biggest obstacle to gender equality in sub-Saharan Africa is money. Simply put, women have less money than men do in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the World Bank, 37% of women in the region have a bank account compared to 48% of women, 48% of men, I beg your pardon, in sub-Saharan Africa who have bank accounts. And while the percentages are low for both sexes, that's men and women, what is troubling is the gap that has widened. What is most troubling is the gap that has widened over the past several years, even as total financing available to the world's poor has increased steadily. I would also like to add that unfortunately, most of the focus to date has been on women in the West, more than those living in urban areas. Rural women in sub Saharan Africa have not necessarily been so much involved in the dialogue globally when it comes to job segregation, family responsibilities, and inequality amongst women. Now, there's a foundation in Liberia who has been leading the change for women and girls. There's a foundation in Liberia who is globally recognized, and today we will be talking with the executive director. The executive director serves as a psychosocial counselor and gender-focused person, providing advice on gender-related issues to United Nations-related agencies, Liberian governmental entities, and the civil society at large. She also worked with Vespa Guard, in charge of distribution of Feminet in Liberia, Buka Harvick as sales manager, and as a volunteer for psychosocial counselor gender-focused person for the Red Cross in Democratic Republic of Congo. Additionally, she served in the private sector as marketing manager for a major transport management, vehicle leasing, training, and related services company in Denmark. She was a recipient of the United Nations sponsored gender based management training programs in Cairo, Egypt, Berlin, Denmark, and an international Red Cross training program in psychosocial crisis management in Switzerland. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of UKLCC, I am more than pleased to welcome the founder and executive director of Sisters Hands non-governmental organization in Liberia, in person of Madam Niatia Y. Gray. I hope I got the name correct.
Yes, yes, Miata Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It's a privilege and honor to be on your platform to discuss some of the more burning issue and close to my heart. I wake up with calls. I go to bed with calls. And none of the calls that are checking on me to see how I'm doing is problem. That's you see me. I was kind of almost late because we have a rape case this morning. Um, you there? Uh, I
Yes,
have
I can hear
okay,
you. I can hear
yeah,
you.
I have for 3 years so that were raped, so I've been kind of up since 6 o'clock this morning. Um, Sometime you are already introduced me, so no need for introduction. But Sisters Hymn, it's kind of dream for me. Girls like me, because if it would not be for my mom, I would be in an arranged family marriage. But my mom from the different culture, and she said no. And I saw a lot of stuff going on, and it was my dream to just stop. This child need to marriage is two-person agreeing, and now family say, why, yeah, take care of it, like you're trying to get rid of something. And I saw abuse, I saw rape, because 96% of the rape happening around the world is insider. It's not outsider. It's family member, it's uncle, it's brother, it's cousin, it's In some cases, it's father. So the people that are inside very familiar with the victim. So when I was in the DRC, I kind of established Sister Hand and keep it as community-based, providing psychosocial support for survival, be it domestic violence, rape, HIV survival. So I came back 2017, right after the election, and I took it to a 4 NGOs. We're working in 3 counties right now: Montserrat, Grand Cape, County, and Gibby. And just what you say, most of the thing could be avoided if we don't have a strong poverty. Most of the issue is poverty. Some of my women conferences, I have again maybe 300 women, some 500 women before the COVID. And all the women telling you they just want something to start something, to do something. Because if somebody is empowered, if a woman is empowered, believe me, they will not compromise rape cases that concern their daughter. They will not. Because most time they will tell you, I don't have money to go after the case. I don't have money to go to police. I don't have money to go to court. It's really frustrating. So how can we flip this chapter to women empowerment remain a key into the fight against gender-based violence? I'm still to be corrected. But for my own assessment and what I deal with as a frontliner, women empowerment is key. Because I saw the lady that we just gave her a little empowerment and she started doing her own business. Her daughter was molested. Sentence because she has something in her hand. If she had not had anything, she would say, okay, I'll leave it with God, because that's the common say in Liberia. I would just leave it with God. They just leaving it with God because you have nothing to fight. You thought you thinking about putting food on the table. And another 13 years, so I saw her getting married, and she was arranged married in one of my conferences. And I called the mother, why this happening? He said, the father left me with 6 children and I don't have anything. Is this man that helping me to make farm? So he asked me that he wants to marry my daughter, so I had no choice. So trust me, women empowerment remain #1 key priority against the fight against GBV. We cannot put cosmetic on it. There's no way we can do it. Women empowerment, because that's so much poverty. One woman stuck into domestic violence because she's thinking, when I leave from here, where would I go? Is this man that putting food on my table? The man molest her daughter. Now she can't say anything because she don't have anything. Is the man that putting food on the table? So until we fight that, until we succeed, at least 30 or 40% of women empowerment, we're going to face this fight for now till that kingdom come. Trust me, because you cannot fight against gender-based violence without women empowerment, without young girls. What can we do for these girls? Right now, in my own personal database, I had about 563 girls. And the oldest would be maybe 21. The rest of them are below the age. And all of them have been violated. Trust me. One way or the other, all of them have been violated. I mean, some of the things I have seen with my eyes. You know, sometimes you think that you're reading one of the magazines where folks put together, but that's the reality. That's the reality. Last year, March 6th, a 33 years old young woman, pregnant, 7 months, died. I picked the body up because I didn't know she was dead. The husband beat her to death. And I thought they were just fighting. She passed, and we got to the hospital, she was dead. And that's this everyday thing recorded. I have a police report just from one of the county. I get a count of 17 domestic violence deaths, 17. And not just the reported one, it's not the one that been swept under the carpet. So how can we need to go back, including the partner, the international partner with government, and sit on the table. What can we do different? Because I've been hearing this since 1990, and it's the same thing continue to become a cycle. Because until we take care of women empowerment, domestic violence will be on the increase. Early marriage will be on the increase. You cannot do it. You're not just talking and oh, I rescue one girl. That's just one girl you're talking about. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of girls that are not in school, that are dropped out of school, that are arranged to marry to their grandfather, somebody that old enough to be their grandfather. So how can we really fight? Because sometimes I get frustrated and confused that where are we going with this? Because empowerment is key. Without empowerment, we can't win this battle. No.
Okay, let me pick. I hope you can hear me very clearly, Madam Niasia.
Yes.
Let me pick it up
Yes,
from
I'm
where you
hearing you.
stopped. You've spoken extensively about empowering women. I sincerely apologize for all of this mishap and what you experienced with all those young women in Liberia. But the next question is, education is very key. I mean, I reviewed your profile and I see that you have had a level of education extensively in here, sub-Saharan Africa and abroad. How can we possibly equip our young girls and women in Liberia with the skills and education they need in order for them to be able to access finance? Because I feel like if women are able to access finance, at least are able to put food on their table, they would be responsible for some of the
Yeah.
decisions they make. They would not be so vulnerable. So from the side of government, from the side of civil society organizations, we in the UK, what can we possibly do to equip these young women in Liberia, maybe through your NGO, through other NGOs, for them to access finance, and then set up the kind of skills they need?
Number one thing say is skill training, because most of them are of age, so they can't go back to grade school. Some of them already had 2 children, 3 children, and they were in 6th grade, they were in 7th grade, or some of them even below as 4th grade. So what can we do so that they will be able to access finance? Is skill training, is to provide vocational technical training for these young women. Let me give you a quick example. There was a young lady, she used to come to me, help me to clean up. I would give her $20, I would give her $10. So one day I asked her, what can you do because you got children? You been to school? He said, yeah, but I stopped in 6th grade. I said, all right, we can talk about if we have a nice school, maybe you can do it, but let's talk about something that you can do right now to put food on your table. So I sent her to one of the vocational school called MVTI. They are very up to standard. And she was there for 1 year and doing the diploma program, decoration house designing. So as to cut long matter, so now she can call me and put data on my phone, because she was telling me that she charged 500 US dollar above to do a decoration. If it's wedding, even more than that. She would fix birthday cake, wedding cake. And and now like so I was telling her, I said, oh, so why the father of your kid? She said, no, I moved out long time. I don't want that kind of relationship. I want somebody that will respect me. I like, wow, it's what empowerment would do. We cannot get the young people into grade school, but we can provide technical, vocational training, skill training for them that they can earn their own money. There is nothing made women more proud and more bring that dignity out than earning your own money.
Fantastic, madam. So the next question I want to ask you, you just said there's nothing that is more honorable than at least making a living for yourself, earning your own money. What policies would you recommend for government in Liberia to put in place in order for women to be a bit more inclusive in the gender equality rate? What are the policies you want to see? What are the rules and regulations? What would you like to see long term, short term, and medium term in Liberia? I don't know if you can hear
Yeah.
me. Okay, what policies would you like to see the government putting in place to ensure that the economy, to ensure that the environment, to ensure that the country is a bit more gender inclusive? For instance, when you look at some countries in sub-Saharan Africa, you look at the Rwanda. Rwanda has a lot of female representation in their parliament. A lot of things are improving in so many other countries. But in Liberia, it seems like the conversation has been ongoing for a long time, but not so much of an action has been taken. But we just have to keep lending our voices until we are sure that the government listens, until we are sure that the policymakers are able to strike and put together a balanced policies that support us as women. And that is what the UK Liberia Chamber is here for in terms of advocacy. So I just want to hear from you, who's a seasoned NGO expert. What would you like to see the government do in terms of policy?
And we're talking about 15 counties because Maserado is not Liberia, because most of the activity is in Maserado. Every county should have a standard, a quality vocational training center for young women. And you know, I'm sorry to say, I always prioritize women because they are the honor privilege for me. To provide and also create intensive awareness on the education of the girl child. I had a campaign going on right now, the importance of the education of the girl child, because it also comes back to what you are saying. We have the first female president in Africa, and right now, out of 73 lawmakers, I think we got about eight women out of 73. In the entire Senate, we got one. We got the VP is the vice president. So why we keep going back and forth? Why we keep going back and forth? We keep doing the same thing. We keep doing the same thing and expect different results. They also boil down to poverty, because when the men go, the men are not doing nothing much. They're doing well. But when they go to these villages, they go to this town, they take advantage of the vulnerability of the women because they're not doing nothing. He said, oh, you know, I'm going to provide a scholarship for your child. Yeah, give me your vote. And it's a lie. It's not true. Carry some rice. You know, say, okay, I get your rice. I pay your pit latrine. You know, you give me your vote. So at the end of the day, you find women voting for men instead of their colleague women, because that is men putting food on their table. So it comes by government need to take women empowerment serious. Government need to take the lead. We're talking about the entire government. I don't think we got equal to, I don't know, I'm staying for correction, whether we got full cabinet minister that women. I know about Minister of Gender, I know Minister of Health and Commerce. The rest of the position, when the president appoint 50%, you go there.
Sorry to interject. Minister of Agriculture as well. Minister of Agriculture is female in
Yeah,
Nigeria.
yeah, Minister of Agriculture. But when you go, when the president made 50 appointment, you go there, assistant minister, all the women there below their assistant minister. Can we just go above assistant minister for crying out loud? The deputy minister that the women, so even the government need to take the lead and bring more women into the government. Let people see these women they got some good women that can provide quality leadership. It got to start from here, and then it trickle down to the local level. You know, how many superintendents we have as women? You know, I don't know whether we got, yeah, Maserado got women. Maserado got a woman as a superintendent. But I think, you know, the 14 out of 14 county, they are men. In my own county, it was the first time through my program. Today we had 3 parliament chiefs that are women. And one of the historical Islamic town from the time it was created over 100 or 200 years, and we were able to produce a town chief in that town, what is forbidden. Women not supposed to. We were able to do that. Awareness. And when they were successful to do that to Zwa, Liberia, because they provide intensive awareness, women peace and security, and women empowerment. I mean, I go to somebody program, let COVID finish, maybe you need to come to Liberia and visit one of our dialogue. I mean, women that could not talk, they will sit where to the bike when we go for dialogue. Now they can take over the microphone for you and conduct the workshop because they are empowered. And they will tell you, say, I want my children to go to school. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I'm grateful that I'll be able to do that. Women to know the importance of the education of their children, especially the girl child. We need to do that, because if you are educated, nobody gonna make decision for you that easy. You will make your own decision. So government themselves need to take this lead, and not only Maserado, they're not only Monrovia, but the 15 county. Because if you empower women in Monrovia, what happened to Bon County? What happened to Nimba County, being one of the largest populated county right now? What happened to Lofa County? What happened to Grand Gila? What happened to all these counties? So we government need to start and put their foot down and take the lead. And not only sinking women empowerment or gender equality by the lip, you need to take action. We need to take action. You can say you are chief feminist. It sounds sexy, but can we see some action right now? Can we see our justice system work for women that can afford? If it works for the poor man, can it work for the woman? Where in Rewaji, where in the Southeast, can it then the justice system just work for everybody? Because until all of these things happen, we're going to keep going around cycle. Because one of the terrible things that in our country right now is the justice system. It's not working, it's not just working. Trust me, it's not. Because anybody, something happened to, as far as the concern, when you go to, before you go to court, you need money. And they don't have it. So they let just sit down. It's not that they really want to compromise these cases, but they don't have money. Because when you go, it starts from the police, the corruption starts from the family, the police, before the court. The frustration. I just called one of the county attorney this morning on this little girl, rape case, and he told me that he don't have gas in his car to go up. So he's not in the county. So can we just be serious for one? If not, we're just going to be thinking gender equality of day in, day out, gender equality, and you can't see it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Because we're not talking about the few handful of people. We're talking about the country that the population is more women and youth.
Okay, Madam Nietzsche, so everything you said is totally understood. The gender system has to be looked into if we are talking about equality for women, if we're talking about women empowerment. But now, if I'm looking at Liberia, an overview of Liberia from the perspective and the eye of the European or someone who lives in the UK or any other part of the world, Liberia's vice president is female, one of the very few females in sub-Saharan Africa to be president. That's a step in the right direction. The first female president in Africa was from Liberia. Now, pundits have said that President George Weah's administration is doing all it can to support women. Are you positive about there being a light at the end of the tunnel in the next coming years in the short term? Are you positive about the fact that Liberia may be able to integrate more women into financial inclusivity, more women in the political space, more women in businesses, more women in civil society organizations, to name a few? Are you optimistic?
We need to change the game, because if it's remain like this, the next question that comes, we're gonna just keep flowing like that. We need to see more women in both houses, because most of 90% of the decisions are made for the country is from the house, from the both houses. There's no way we can do harsher punishment for rape or perpetrator if we don't have women in the both houses to push it, because this is Africa. So we need more women in every sector. We need women leadership. Not they're talking about it. We need to see it, as I said from the beginning. Yes, we can still make some gain, but it got to start from the top. Even you come to, we got to be serious around here. Even about some international partner, when you will see the position up and they will say, oh, we encourage women to apply. So it was not intended for women. Yeah, we encourage, they position it for social, but we encourage women to apply. Why can't you just say the particular position there is strictly for women? Why you putting that we encourage? I said they're enough for me. So now I'm going into a big competition with men. So yes, I pray that we will get there, because I don't want my labor to go in vain. So I pray that one day, and we are seeing some game changes. We are seeing, we're getting there gradually. Some of the county, I always said example in my county, because it's Islamic dominating county. And I'm seeing it. I will go there, and we talk about female genital mutilation. And today we got huge reduction in that in the county. To God be the glory, and other people. So I can go there, and just from that experience, I know we can make a difference, and we get there. But government need to take the lead when we're talking about women empowerment. Government need to take the lead. international partner need to take the lead and not just thinking it as a son or calling people. You call few people, handful of people to a five-star hotel to go sit there and discuss about women empowerment. No, no, it don't work that way. You want to discuss women empowerment, get to where the women are. You cannot be talking for people and you're not talking with them. You can't take one woman from one of the county and come and take them to Royal Hotel for 1 week. You say you're talking about women empowerment. No, it don't work that way. Then people need to know women need to go into agriculture, women in clean energy, women in climate change, because if all the things happen, it affects women. We have the mining sector, the mining, somebody counted the women cannot even go to make garland, the waters are polluted and all of that. So you need to get to the women to hear from them and not just calling somebody at the city hall for 1 week and you say you are conducting women empowerment and gender equality. No, we need to go beyond that. If we have to win this game, and we Liberians have to take ownership of the issue because it affects us directly. So we need to say, no, this is what we want. Enough is enough. We cannot have the first, we cannot have a female vice president and we still talking about, we still fighting for 30%. We still discussing here. Yeah, we're talking about 30%.
30% of affirmative action and 30%
yes.
of cost.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to chip in a very quick question. You've spoken extensively on the fact that, you're positive that there will be more female representation in the coming years in Liberia, but it has to start now. You can't be talking for the people and you're not talking with the people. I've written that from this interview. But now I just want to ask you this quick question. What platforms currently support business skills and financial capacity training for women in Liberia? I know about what Sister Hands is doing for people in Liberia, women and girls. I'm so proud of the organization. But are there other platforms, not PSO NGO related, like financial institutions? I know of the IMF, that's the International Monetary Fund. I know the International Monetary Fund supports a lot of initiatives for women in Liberia. I do know about the World Bank. World Bank supports a lot of initiatives for women in Liberia. But excluding these international donor organizations and international financial organizations, are there other platforms currently that help business skills for women and financial training that provide all of these things? Are you aware of any?
I don't want to discuss what I don't really have the full information. I know about it's a Liberian-owned NGO called We for Sale. We for Sale provide financial training for women how to manage, they call it a village saving loan. How women to save their own money, and it really works. It really, because the testimony is tremendous that coming. Some women will say, I was able to build my house through the village saving loan. And I think Kavina is KTK for short, it's a Swedish NGO. They also are very involved with that. The executive director, apparently maybe she needs to come to talk more about that. But that what she do, provide this loan, the village saving loan. The women in the village, if the cassava farm or agriculture, whatever, they save their own money and the money go right back to themselves. So We for Sale, I know that doing that, provide the training how to manage the money. They do that. And KTK, I think, I want to believe KTK one of the strong supporter, Kavina to that program. But what they say, there's a financial institution what empower women. Maybe somebody else, because I don't have that information, so I don't want, because it drives me crazy. Let's come to the commercial bank. Access Bank, I call it today, is a microfinance bank or whatever they call it. But I think it causing more problem for me than it helping. Because you find all the people getting so stressed out because they take a loan, and the loan sometimes it's not even $1,000. Some of the loan, they will tell you some of the loan is as low as at $400 US. And you see them under the tension because they got to pay every day. It's a payment plan arranged that you pay every day. And why are they selling? Now we're talking about lockdown. We're talking about COVID-19. Everything's slow. So why would this person take this money from to pay every day? Because you got to be turning this money around. You got to be selling and buying to be able to pay the loan. So at the end of the day, they come to the person how they take all their belonging. And that is heartbreaking for me. If you want to help, you got to help. But that for me is not a help, because it causes more stress on the women than it's helping. Because first thing, you want to provide a financial a loan to somebody. I think I'm not a financial expert, but I think you must find out what the person can do, what the good are. Because when we go with doing financial training, I always tell people what you good at. Because what you're good at, your customer service will be great. But if you don't know what to do, you just go, you take the money, and they see money, full money coming out of the same loan. Your rent is coming from out of the same loan. Hello, it's not happy. So they need to also change their game, and government need to really have some discussion to the commercial bank that are giving loans to. I'm not talking about high business people, but the small loan. They need to sit on the table and have some discussion, because it's stressful for the women. It's very stressful. You're not happy at all.
Okay, now let's talk more about solutions, to conclude on this interview. What would your recommendations be in terms of finding solutions to eliminate the barriers that stand in the way of women in Liberia to access finance, access loans, and access education? Now, I'm going against this backdrop. For instance, when you look at South Africa, there are incentives that are put in place by the government for women, small scale farmers, you know, for Liberia, I do think the case can improve if people like yourselves, people like yourself, other well-meaning institutions stand up to speak aloud, as loud as they can. We just have to continue to talk until we are listened to. So, in a summary sentence, how can we eliminate the barriers that stand in the way of women like myself and yourself and other women in Liberia accessing education, accessing finance in particular? How can we get rid of that?
And first thing, it gotta be that way say happiness of Africa. It gotta be a system put in place. This for now, we know they are great men, no, they respect to the men. But can we have this government say, okay, we have $2 million, and the $2 million is strictly for women to do business, to access this money, and provide training for these women, financial training, how to manage this. And we got people that will monitor how they do their business, how they monitor this fund that is strictly for women, to provide that. And government needs to create the atmosphere, the opportunity for women education. If you have 10 scholarships, for me, I think I'm a feminist, I'm sorry, but I think if 10 scholarships, I think it should go to girls. Because when somebody is, education is the key. Education is the key. Because you can also give somebody of $10,000 if they had no education, they had no knowledge of what they're doing, they didn't know what to do. That money will blow up and they will come back to the same place. The importance of education, because you can't just say, oh, education, compulsory education. Hey, we're tired. We need to go beyond that. Not just saying it. You still see, because we're going to have the problem for a very long time. As you drive in the street, you still see all the little girls from 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, they're all standing along the street, they're not in school. You still see 13 years old, 14 years old, they're standing, they're not in school. What's going to happen to them in the next 5 years? So we need to start solving the problem from the bottom. Compulsory education. Compulsory education for the girl child. We need to take that serious, and government need to take it serious.
Fantastic.
Because in that we want to,
compulsory education from early childhood learning to kindergarten to secondary to college and so on and so forth. Okay, the final question, Madam Miatia, the final question for today is, I just want to take this quote. It says the empowerment of rural disadvantaged women and at-risk girls, the empowerment of rural disadvantaged women and at-risk girls through capacity building initiatives and advocacy restores their dignity and self-worth. It is also a key strategic peace building and conflict resolution strategy for Liberia. looking at Liberia, a country that was at war, a country that has come out of a lot of conflict. The quote is saying, when you empower the women in Liberia, when you empower the girls and people of Liberia, you're advocating for, less of conflict. You're advocating for more of conflict resolution. So can you just explain that, how, what you understand from this perspective in just a statement, in less than 1 minute, so we can round up the interview, please?
Can you come by? I didn't get.
Okay, I'm going to recap the statement. So the more empowered the women and girls are in Liberia, the less conflict. The more we
Yeah.
advocate for the empowerment of women and girls, the more conflict is reduced. Considering Liberia, a country that was at war with itself so many decades ago, a country that is bouncing back from war, what is the place of women in contributing to the reduction of conflict in this society? That's my question to you.
Uh, 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 right now, I've seen, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, as you said earlier, because women, peace and security is one of the key, because I have worked on the project with Zwa Liberia on women, peace and security. And after that, that project, trust me, I saw tremendous result. There was some election, the midterm election, there was some conflict. And the women stood up that, no, we don't want this in our country, in our county. We don't want this in our district. They actually took matter into their hand and quiet that situation down, because the county have a border. They would say, no, if you're not from here, you can't come here to vote. You cannot. And they stood by their word, and it's work. So women, we're talking about women empowerment. It would really reduce some of the tension. We're talking about women, peace and security, and that they need to own the process, because whatever I'm providing training, I tell them, this is you. It's about you. You are here. You live here. So you have to own this process. And we are seeing, a tremendous result when it comes to women, peace and security, women owning the process, women speaking out. Because when the people, it's just something just powerful about women, but they just need somebody to bring that out and say you can make it. And this is a way you can do it. I can provide you training if the agriculture, we made in agriculture. I did a small group of people in one of where I work, and I told them, they wanted to make garlic. Sometimes they would like, okay, you don't have to sell it, you make the cassava or farm, and they did that. And they called me one day that they harvest, and they got $4 million Liberian dollar from their cassava. And I was so, and their voice started changing, their attitude started changing, their behavior started changing. I mean, they became in control. Men need to know this is not about competition. This is not power struggle. It's somebody to give women the opportunity, because women are more, they're going to pay their children's school fee. They want to make sure their children keep in school. Because one of the things happening when you get your woman, you decide what school you want your child to go to. Your child will not be out of school because you don't have money. Those women, they are still doing it. They want to build their own women's center for their own money, because I told them that you can do it. You can make it. It's just that empowerment and the awareness, the intensive awareness on women issues. We will not rest. We will keep saying it. We will keep shouting. We will keep making noise until our voices can be heard. And there are a lot of great women in Liberia that are doing that. We're standing up. Last year, we took almost 6 months. We were protesting every day against rape. We were doing that. We were in black every Thursday in black. Every Thursday, we wear black in solidarity of women. Trust me that I've seen the bar, I've seen the ugly, I've seen the worst. I see 3 years old child rape, their whole organ, everything came outside. I've seen it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
As a psychosocial person, I was depressed when I saw that. I took her to the hospital. They performed emergency surgery, and the doctor that performed the surgery, she said that she had never seen that in her entire life. for a child to be raped to the point that for you to come out here to take out everything. So there are more to be, yes, there are more to be done. There are more to be done, but I think we will get there when we handle, because it all happened at a mining place, at a mining concession area where the mother go to look for, you know, some food, and somebody take advantage. One of the workers take advantage of her child. So if that mother was doing something for herself, why would she take her baby to that kind of place? She wouldn't have done that.
It's really pathetic, really sad. I mean, it's such a devastating story what women have to go through in sub-Saharan Africa and the rest of Africa just to put food on the table. Women empowerment is very key and important, like you've said, and that is why we at UKLCC, from the advocacy side, we will keep advocating for the rights and women of Liberia, which we represent here in Europe and in the United Kingdom. But this is my final question to you. What is your impression of the UK Liberia Chamber of Commerce? We are a bilateral, we are an organization based in London, headquartered in London, that is solely responsible for promoting trade, business services, investment between the United Kingdom and the Republic of Liberia. We've been able to put together this series of interviews. I just spoke with the country manager of Lufthansa in Liberia, a few minutes ago. We just rounded up the interview and now we're on to you. What is your impression about the chamber? What can you say, to the board at the chamber? What can you say to Liberia about the UK Liberia Chamber of Commerce? Going by your experience with me, who represents the chamber right here, the Director of Communication and External Affairs. I just want to get the word from you.
And I want to say a big thank you for the platform, UK Liberia Chamber of Commerce. There are more to be done to also advocate for opportunity for women. Because I wake up women, I go to care women. I'm from a family what majority of there are more women than men. I got 2 daughters. So everything about me, I want to see women happy. I want to see women, I want to see us a safe space for women. So your office to find more opportunities for women, business. Women want to do business. Women want to be independent. There are nothing make you feel good in your head and wake up that you are independent. People don't just get it. Women not asking for too much. They just asking, I want to be independent. It's not a power struggle. So my recommendation and my appeal to the board is to find more opportunity for Liberian women, and also for Liberians to also take advantage of this connection. And you got, you have a brilliant idea, you bring it to the board so the board can look at it and see what they can do. Because they are over there and we are here. Go if women in clean energy, women in climate change, women in agriculture. The opportunity, if you have this idea, you can always reach out to the board. I know you have a contact person here in Monrovia or the office to say, you know what, this is what I have. This is because you can have the brilliant idea, but how can that idea be turned into a money-making idea? You need people to come to help you to do that. So I want people to also take advantage of this, bring that idea, because we already know everything, and come and say, you know what, I think in this county we can do agriculture, we can do this. Well, this is what we can do, cassava processing. This is our idea, and bring it to the board. I'm sure the board will find the right opportunity for them. So that I was sending to take advantage of this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Big thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We've been speaking with the founder and executive director of Helping Hand, Sister Hand.
Sister Hand.
Yes, please. The executive director, the founder and executive director of Sister Hand Liberia in Monrovia. Thank you most kindly, madam, for availing us your time and talking to, the Department of Communication and External Affairs at UKLCC. We are more than pleased to have you speak with us. And of course, we look forward to collaboration with the organization in the near future. We look forward to bringing in the required investment to Liberia. We look forward to getting the attention of the United Kingdom to women and girls, the challenges that they face. We look forward to creating more opportunities for women and girls in Liberia. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, I wish you very best. Congratulations on all your accolades and have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank
Bye.
you.